First time back on YouTube in a while. I hope everybody's doing well. Hopefully everybody is doing well, right? So here's the thing. We're gonna go ahead and get started because I am on time. What? I am on time. We're gonna talk about buying the dip. So for the past three sessions, I've covered anxiety, well, financial anxiety. How do we identify it? Some steps to overcome that financial anxiety. Then two sessions, I broke down the 5 year um, freedom budget. Now, the reason for me doing that is because I wanted to make sure that before we start back talking about cryptocurrency, we are well aware of what in the world we're going to do, like with our money. How much money we have coming in, how much money do we have going out. We need to be well aware of that, so that way we're not deciding on how to invest emotionally. You don't want that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Thank you so very much for the welcome back. Okay, I appreciate it. All right, so let's go. We're going to go ahead and get started with this. So a couple of things for the people who are new to me, have never ever in their life seen me before. I want to do a quick introduction. I want to say welcome, first of all, to everyone that is new, tuning in live, and for everyone watching the replay. I really appreciate that. Appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy day, okay, to come check me out, okay? So quick introduction for my people who have never ever seen me before. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Leona Clark. All right. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am an Army veteran. I'm an investor. I'm an entrepreneur and have been an entrepreneur for the past 5 years. I've been blessed and fortunate to assist over 500 people in some capacity, you know, not 100%, but in some capacity with trading, whether that's in the foreign exchange market or cryptocurrency market, but also investing. And that has started since 2020. I count that, even though I was doing it a little bit before then, but most definitely 2020. And some of those people were as young as 16. So I share that, the age, to let it be known that you don't have to wait until you're an adult to learn this information. And if you are a parent of a teenager, this is a perfect time for them to learn. I would hope that as a parent, you would want your child to be in a much better position than you were coming up. You want them to have the information that you didn't have before you went on to become an adult, right? You want them to be properly equipped. You want them to take your last name and level that thing up. So if that is the case, then this is for them as well, okay? So before we get into the topic for tonight, this hair is kind of long. These braids are kind of long. Before we get into the topic for tonight, I want to remind everyone that this information is 100% free for you. Y'all, there's no catch, okay? I'm not about to pitch some type of course to at the end of this. I'm not about to say, hey, you know, if you are on here live, you only got to pay $47, you know what I'm saying, for this course. I'm not about to do that to you, okay? I'm not connected to any network marketing companies out there. I understand that there is a lot of that going on where people are not being upfront and saying that they are a part of a network marketing company. So you think that you're getting information directly from that person. You're only working with that person, only to find out that, oh, it's the catch. I need you to, you know, talk to my mentor and things of that nature. I'm saying that because been there, done that. All right. So I want to make it known. This information is for you and can be done 100% by yourself on your own. It does not require you to sign up for a monthly subscription to a company to see results. Now, you can do those things if you choose to, but it is not a requirement. Some of us require a bit of accountability. I'm one of those people. So that's the reason why I pay people for certain things, because it helps me to be accountable to do what I said I'm going to do. Okay. But that's not everyone. So guess what? This is something you can do by yourself. Okay. The only thing I ask everyone watching this live or the replay, the only thing I ask is that you share this information with 1, 2, 3, however many people you know that could use it in this community. Okay. Me being the person that I am, and Prosperity Calls in general, we are big on sharing. We are not gatekeepers, ladies and gentlemen. We're not. Okay. So if you want to make sure someone is leveling up with you, share this with them. Okay. Like it, love it, share, and also comment your thoughts or any questions that you may have, because I will cut out some time for that. Okay. But most definitely, share, please, and thank you. Okay. Oh, and before we move on, I'm not a financial advisor yet. Okay. So everything that I'm sharing with you guys tonight is from personal experience. These are things that I have done. I was taught some stuff. I did a little trial and error on some things, and then I got the results I wanted. So now I'm sharing with you guys some of the things that I did in hopes that it just raises your awareness to what is available. Okay, for you as an investor. Okay, so be sure with everything that I share tonight, do your own research, and if you have a financial advisor, make sure that you talk to them as well before you make any investment decisions based off of what's shared tonight. Okay, all right. So last week we talked about breaking the paycheck to paycheck cycle with our 5-year freedom budget. Okay. If you missed that, Facebook, you can scroll back up. I believe it was September. It was the day before my birthday. So September 16th, there's a recording there, and you can go back and review it and take notes so that way you can implement them immediately. Okay. YouTube, you would have to go to Prosperity Calls Facebook page. It's in the description of this video. And like I said, go to September 16th and watch that video. Take your notes. Okay. The goal is for you to find what's going to work for you and then formulate your plan or tweak the plan that I'm going to share with you and then implement. We need to execute, y'all. This is not the season to play around. All right. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take that new budget that we talked about. Yes, the key word is yet, not a financial advisor yet. But tonight I'm going to show you how to take that new budget that we've discussed for the past 2 weeks and how to put it to work in what I believe is one of the most powerful wealth building opportunities. All right. And that is the crypto bear market. So I know there's somebody right now that's like, okay, Leona, here you go. What is a bear market? What is that? And why is that important to me as an investor? Well, I'm gonna share this with you. Okay. The bear market is a selling market, but this is the perfect opportunity for investors. And here's why. I'm going to tell you something first. First, you need to know what a bull market is. These are terms as investors you're going to hear. Okay, especially in a cryptocurrency market. So a bull market means it's a buying market. The prices are going up for whatever you're investing in. There's a growth phase, right? There's excitement. There's greed. We hear the term in the cryptocurrency market, the fear and greed index, right? People talk about that. That's because we want to see when the greed of the market is high, because Warren Buffett, y'all, those of y'all that's been rocking with me for a minute, y'all know I've been studying Warren Buffett for the past 5 years. And one of his favorite quotes from me, is buy the fear, sell the greed. I'm pretty sure somebody else said it, but I heard Warren Buffett say it first. And guess what? I'm giving the credit to him. All right. But we want to make sure that we are aware of when the market is running high and it's probably going to be exhausted. And then the sale is going to come in and it's going to be a strong bear market, because this is our selling market. Okay. So bull market is a buying market. Prices are going up. You see in your portfolio, green, right? There's a lot of excitement. Everyone is talking about how great Nvidia is doing. Everyone's talking about how great Amazon is doing. Everyone's talking about how great Palantir is doing. All of these things. That's because there's excitement behind these companies, okay? So the bull market, prices are going up. There's excitement behind it. Bear market is a selling market, okay? Prices are dropping. Fear typically dominates in those who are not confident in what they're investing in, who are very new to the market. There's multiple factors, but fear is dominating at this point. And for those that are not aware and are fairly new to investing, this is where the money is compounded. This is where the wealth is built. So anyone ever wondered, like, how did these people, these millionaires and billionaires, how did they still make all of this money during COVID, right? Everything was red. Prices were plummeting, right? And folks were panicking. We're about to go into a depression, all of this stuff. But there were people who put money into certain things and were waiting for the opportunity to come in and swoop it all up, buy it all up while the prices were dirt cheap. So bear market, I need you guys to, we're going to get there, but I need you guys to get to the point where you're seeing that as dollar signs. This is how I'm going to build my wealth. This is how I'm going to build my wealth, right? Through the bear market. Sorry, guys. It's like something got stuck in my throat. Okay. So before I put this in terms of the crypto market, okay, giving you an example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain this in a way that almost everyone can understand. So we know right now is fall, autumn, right? Season. And winter's going to be here soon. So what time of year do you tend to get the best deals for winter clothes? You know, your coats and boots and sweaters and whatnot. What time of year do you get the best deals? Meaning you can go buy a ton of winter clothes for dirt cheap. What time of year is that? Like, really think about it. Because I know everyone does not go when the season is happening. Like, you're not right now, you're not saying, oh, it's the weather's getting cool, so now let me go buy certain things. No, you probably already have them, right? So for the people that are not sure, typically is when the winter season is over. It's when it's over. So we're talking about February, March, depending on where you are. This is when you're going to see those rollbacks, those deals. You're going to see clearance for those coats and sweaters and boots and all of those things, right? Because now people are going to be preparing for spring and summer. So now you have the spring line coming in, right? Being put on the racks. So winter, the end of winter time is when things go on clearance and you save a ton of money. Okay, so now if you understand that from a retail perspective, you want to save money, so you buy clothes when the season is over or well before that season starts, right? Then that means you can understand how to buy low and sell high, okay? We need to have the same process when it comes to investing, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency. Why pay $111 for Bitcoin when you can buy into it when it's $50 per coin? When it's $40 per coin? When it's $30 per coin? Why buy at the top when you can buy once prices have dropped? Okay, so I want you to think about this. This is my example now when it comes to cryptocurrency in general. Bitcoin dropped almost 80% from its peak before the last bull run, where prices rose up to 68K in 2021. Okay, so before this bull run that happened, the last one in 2021, Bitcoin rose to a little over $68,000 per coin, right? But guess what? there were some people that were buying while the price was at an all-time high. Why? Why? Why do we want to buy when something is more expensive? When we know that there's going to be a sale, there's going to be a discount coming soon. So let's wait for the discount and start buying, right? I mean, do you always buy your clothes when they first hit the rack? Or are there times where you're like, nah, I want a sale. It's not that serious to me. It's not that deep. I don't need something that just came out because it's a season. Nah, I'm good. Right? So this is the thing. The people, those of us that were prepared for the bear market, okay, the sell-off that occurred from 2021 to 2022, we started buying in small amounts from when? 2022 to 2024. And those of us that really took it serious and were buying larger amounts over that 2-year span, they saw life-changing gains. Don't you want to be the person that like sits back after the market has the dust has settled and you bought and bought and bought while it was selling and now it's going up and you're still buying, right? Because you know the previous all-time high was over $123,000 per coin. We're talking Bitcoin still, right? So don't you want to be that person that sits back and be like, yeah, man, look at that portfolio. Oh my gosh. Oh, that thing look nice, boy. You know, so you go from low 5 figures to low 6 figures, and you just sitting there like, well, I'm glad I started buying. You know, this was done too with the actual, this was done with the actual digital asset, like buying Bitcoin, but this was also done with the Bitcoin ETFs too. Those that were approved in January 2024, same thing. I'm just going to give y'all an example. So I bought into Grayscale Bitcoin Trust before it became an ETF. So I've been buying into that since 2021, like buying in and then selling when the bear market hit. And then I bought again in 2023. So I bought again, I want to say it was like $14 and some change when I was finally able to get in to make my purchases and everything. And now today it's over $80 per share. So I'm up almost 600%, y'all. 600%, 2 years off of one asset. One. And that's the cryptocurrency market. Now, I invest in other things in the stock market. But guess what? Those other things that I'm invested in the stock market, none of them are at 580, 590%. None of them. So what we want to do is practice buying low, sell high. Hopefully that makes sense now. If it does, let me know. Okay? So right now you should have a better understanding of what the bear market is, right? And knowing that it's not something to fear. It's something to prepare for, to build wealth. Okay? So everybody should have it by now. I really do hope you got it. And if you feel like this is helping you, like there's been a light bulb go off or whatnot, go ahead. If you haven't done so yet, like the video. Love it. Okay? Share. YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. And then hit that notification bell too if you have not done that as well. All right. And like I said, share because sharing is caring. Okay? Send it to a few people that you know this could benefit them. All right? All right, so we're moving right along. I probably should have put this in a ponytail because it's irritating me right now. Okay, so let's talk about your freedom budget and how it can become your bear market weapon. Y'all, our minds can be our greatest asset, but it can also be our biggest weapon and not in the best way. Okay? So if this is one of those things that we need to do, we're using our budget to help change the way that we feel about money and how we treat money and how much power we give to money. This is what we're using this budget for, okay? So last week, we talked about how the freedom budget frees up cash flow. But what I want to do is give you a visual illustration of that. So give me a second. I am going to share my screen. Okay, so here we go. I'm a bit rusty, y'all, so just bear with me. Because it's been a minute. Oh, man. Come on. Is this it? No, not that one. Oh, Lord. They don't change stuff up on here. So now I'm like, share. Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay. So hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to figure this out, Lord. Okay. I think I got it. Bear with me. I appreciate y'all being patient with me. You know, when you're a little rusty, but it's all good. Okay. So this is what I want to share with you guys. Hopefully you can see this just fine. So, here, my bad. I'm going to show y'all on Facebook oops. Okay. There it is. Okay. Here we go. So I want to show you guys a couple of things that's important for you to know about your freedom budget. So if you miss the session, you could take a screenshot of this. Hopefully you can see it just fine. But take a screenshot of this. So there's 3 key things that we're looking at doing with this budget. One, we want to identify any spending leaks. Okay. We want to track all our income and expenses. That's every expense, be it monthly, quarterly, annually, subscriptions, all of that stuff. We want to track all of it. In the same category, we want to make sure we minimize our discretionary spending. Get it down to 20 to 25% of our income. Now, here's the thing. I know there's going to be somebody like, oh, Lord, Leo, I'm not able to do that. It's okay. This is a goal. The whole point of the budget is to help us identify where we are, and then we're going to set goals to get to where we want to be. Okay. If you can minimize that more than 20%, awesome. That's cool. But that's not a requirement, because some people really enjoy having money to travel and do all kind of things. All right. So 20-25% is our goal to get to that point. All right. And in the same category, we want to revisit our budget at a bare minimum monthly. Now, for my overachievers like myself, okay, we're looking at it every week. I call it Financial Friday, because every Friday is when I look at my accounts. I look at my budget and say, am I on track? Am I staying on track? Where did I go off track if I did? So that way I have enough time to adjust. Okay, so that way I'm not waiting until the month has passed and then I see that I've spent, like I did before I started doing it every Friday. I realized that I had spent over $200 on Starbucks, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, how in the world did that happen? That's because I wasn't tracking my spending every single week. Okay, even though I had a budget, I still wasn't tracking my spending to make sure I was sticking to my budget. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, okay, second category is reduce debt. That is what our budget is meant to do. We want to identify bad debt that we have that is eating away at our investing opportunities. Okay, there are some people right now with the uncertainty in the market, be it in the stock market, cryptocurrency market, real estate. There's a lot of uncertainty going on right now because of what's happening in the United States. And some people will not be ready for when the prices plummet. Whereas other people who have worked their budget, stay within their budget, and put money to the side so that they're ready to make purchases when prices go on discount, they're going to be, able to buy things up. Whereas the other person that hasn't even worked on their budget won't be able to. We don't want that to happen in the future. So that's why we want to identify that bad debt start paying extra on that bad debt, whether it's $5, $10, $100, $200, whatever you can do. Okay. In that same vein, we want to make sure we establish which debt reduction strategy we're going to use, whether you're going to do the debt snowball or debt avalanche. I'm not going to go into detail on that because I think I spent enough time on the previous 2 sessions talking about debt snowball and debt avalanche. If anything, you can go back and watch the replays, or a quick Google will help you get the answer to that. All right. And then the third category, we want to build our call it what you want fund. Okay. Some people don't like the word emergency. It makes them panic. It puts them into a negative mindset. So whatever you want to call it, I put up here just in case fund, whatever you want to call it, put that there. As long as it makes you feel good when you say it, that's all that matters. Okay. So this fund, we want to save a bare minimum of $1,000 within the first year. If you can do more than that, out freaking standing. But the goal is a minimum of $1,000 by the end of your first year implementing this budget. The second part to this is making sure that when we are building this fund, that whatever platform we use, we are beating inflation. Y'all know a quick Google search will help you to identify what it is on average. It's roughly 3%. Okay. It used to be 2%, but it's been staying steady at 3%. So now that means that wherever we put our money, we want it to be 3.1% or higher. Okay. So you can use a high yield savings account. You can use a high yield checking account. Whichever one works for you and your consciousness, go for it. Okay. That's what we want you to do. So that's the freedom budget in a nutshell. Just to give a quick recap of that. And next, I'm going to show you guys. Did it do it? There we go. Okay, so the process here. So when we're talking about this freedom budget, here is a quick process. So that way you can see how it goes. All right. Number 1, identify where is your money going. Hopefully you get it by now. Number 2, we want to reduce debt. We need to implement our debt reduction strategy. Number 3, we want to build our funds. So we want to secure at a minimum $1,000 in our fund. Call it what you want fund by the end of year 1 of exercising this budget. And then number 4, we now should be in a position to invest. Listen, small amounts compound over time, y'all. So we don't want to sit here and say, oh, well, I only have $10 left over per month after everything comes out. And my discretionary spending is down to 20% or whatnot. This is all I have. Okay, fine. Do that. All right. But at the end of the day, what I want you to see is down here. Once your essentials, oh my gosh, once your essentials are covered, right? Now you're going to direct those small amounts to your investments. But you got to be consistent with this, y'all. This is how you win. Okay? $50 a month in a bear market, you're going to be able to see growth over time. Percentage-wise, okay? I'm actually going to show you guys here in a second what I mean by this. And then even $200. $200 a month, for some people, they're like, oh, that's nothing. I can do 200 easy. Well, cool. Do 200 every single month, though. No excuses. Because now that's going to accelerate your long-term growth, right? So look at this. Hold on. I got to stop sharing. 1 second. Because now I have to share again to show you guys this. So let me share. So remember how I mentioned, let's say you do $50, right? Okay, so hopefully you guys see my screen. So let's go back here, Facebook. I'm going to show y'all this again. Okay, so let's say you are able to do $50 each month and you started back in January 2023. Okay. This calculator, I'm going to type it in there, y'all, so that way you can have it and you can actually save it. Okay. But this calculator shows you whatever the amount is, the date, and then what it would be worth today. Okay. And that gives you the actual dollar amount and the percentage. So if it was $50 in January 2023, when the market had already hit its lowest point and was starting to semi-rebound, okay, this slow progression upward, this happened in January 2023. The percentage return today would be over 400%. Everyone sees where my cursor is at the bottom of the screen. You would be up over 400% just from $50 one time in 2023. Now, let's say you waited until 2024, right? So we're going to do January 2024. So let's go to 2024 and we're going to do January. Same thing. So you saw it was over 400%, right? So now we're going to see what your percentage profit will be. 157%. Okay? 157%. Now, for someone, they'll be like, oh man, that's less than it. The point is, we want to get started and we want to be consistent. So you still will be up 157%. Now, let's say you waited until January 2025 when the Bitcoin ETFs came on the scene, right? Well, now you will be up 8%. Do you see how big of a difference that is? If you would have bought while everyone else was scared out of their mind and thinking it's a wrap for cryptocurrency, I knew that this Bitcoin stuff wasn't real. There's no way you can make money in that. It is done. It dropped back down. Man, it went from $68,000 down to $15,000. There is no way this thing is coming back. And what did it do in 2025? It surpassed $120,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I really need you to get this. I really hope this has made sense to you. I do. I really hope this has made sense to you. And let me put y'all back over here, Facebook. I'm trying. This thing is, I keep hitting the mute button. Okay, there we go. I got you. All right. So hopefully this is making sense to you. This is why it's very, very important to leverage your bear market. Okay. So before we get into the steps to leverage your bear market, to leverage your budget, I need to remind you, okay, or make those aware that just joined this live stream, because I see there's some more people jumping on. So I'm not a financial advisor yet, but I'm going to be sharing things with you, and I have been sharing things with you, these strategies and steps that I took personally to get out of bad debt and to be able to invest more. Okay. So that's why this information should be taken as a means to raise your awareness. All right. Everyone now should at least know that crypto investing is available to me. And I don't have to have the full $111,000 to invest in Bitcoin. I can start with my $10. I can start with my $25. I can start with my $50. I can start with my $100, my $1,000, my $10,000, whatever your budget allows. I can start with that. Okay? But y'all, please make sure that you are doing your own research with everything that I'm sharing with you guys tonight. And if you have a financial advisor, all right, make sure you reach out to them as well before you make any investment decisions based off of what's shared tonight. Okay, so now we're going to move on to practical steps for us to leverage our budget. Let's go. Step number 1, write it down. Step number 1, you're going to decide what crypto you're going to invest in and how much you're going to allocate to that investment, to that cryptocurrency. Okay? So what you're going to do is, we talked about the freedom budget for 2 weeks straight. What you're going to do is just take a portion from that financial freedom bucket, okay? And make sure that you implement a percentage of that to crypto investing. Now, quick refresher, what we did was 50% starting out. We want to work towards being able to have 50% of our income covering our monthly expenses, meaning house, if you're renting, if you're owning, if you have a car note, if you have insurance, which you should, life insurance, health insurance, light bill, water bill, food, gas, all of these things that come out every single month, okay? That is part of your 50%. If you say, Leon, that sounds good and it look good on paper, but I'm nowhere near 50%. Be just guesstimating right now. I'm going to just guesstimate. I'm probably at about, a good 85% of my budget is for my household expenses and, my monthly expenses. That's not including what I just splurge and everything. No, it's 85%. Okay, that's fine. At least you know where you are. Now you got to go through that budget and say, where am I spending more than what I have? And is this something I actually need right now, or is it more of a want? If it's more of a want and not a necessity, then you need to nix it. Okay? Truth be told, because this isn't the time to be splurging. The only time we should be splurging is on our investments. Okay? So 50% is for that. For real, dude. 50% is for that. 30% is for four things for my people who do tithe. Okay, so portion of that is tithing. A portion of that is going towards your debt reduction, whatever that amount is going to be. Going towards your call it what you want fund. Okay, i.e. emergency fund. And investing, even if that's $50 a month, $25 a month, $15 a month, who cares? The goal is for us to get to the point where we're consistent with investing every single month, no matter what's going on. Okay. And then at 20%, the goal is to get down to 20% of our discretionary spending. Okay. So if we can get to that point, then we can make some adjustments and get better. And now we'll have 40% for household stuff, 40% for our investing and saving. And then, we'll still have that 20% for discretionary spending. Okay. That's the end goal for some of us. All right. So we're going to start small though. When we are deciding what cryptocurrency we're going to invest in our allocation, we're going to start small. Consistency, y'all, beats lump sums for beginners. If you say, oh man, as a matter of fact, sir, stop it. Listen, as a matter of fact, let's just say this. I need y'all to really just listen to me, please. Consistently investing creates a new positive habit. Some of us have had really bad habits and beliefs around money. We want to change that. And I promise you, when you see the profit percentage continually increase, you are going to be so glad that you stuck and stayed. Again, I'm telling you guys from personal experience, me investing in the stock market, me investing in cryptocurrency, like seeing when I purchased my first gram of gold, I want to say a gram of gold at that time was like a little over $50 per gram, right? Because I'm not about to sit here and just throw, at the time, $2,000 on one thing. I was like, nah, man, like, let me just get some grams here and there. That'll be easier to utilize should that time ever come where I need to use gold and silver to make payments, right? Because the dollar value is trash or whatever. So So yeah, so when I looked at it, I want to say it was last month. I looked at it last month, and it was like it was over $100 per gram. So in that short window of time, I've been able to double my investment. I'm looking at percentage. I have doubled my investment. I am now well over that 100%. I'm good, right? That is what happens when you consistently invest. Okay? Step 2. So we went over step 1. Friendly reminder, I need you to decide your cryptocurrency and your allocation. We're going to talk about the cryptocurrency here in a second because I want you to be prepared for that. So you're going to research certain cryptocurrencies, and you're also going to research different crypto exchanges, okay? Because all crypto exchanges are not meant for everyone. There's going to be one that's going to speak to you more because their fees are not as high, or they are really good with getting your transactions complete. Their customer service is on point. They haven't been hacked multiple times. Whatever it is, okay? It's going to be up to you to decide. So step 2, you're going to select your crypto exchange and automate your contributions, okay? What this means is you're going to set up reoccurring buys, okay, on an exchange. And it needs to be a reputable exchange, y'all, not some rinky-dink that nobody's ever heard of. You need to go to exchanges that have been around almost as long as the cryptocurrency market has been available, okay? So Coinbase, Crypto.com, Gemini, Uphold, I've heard, some good things about as well, Kraken, things like that. Do your research, find which one works for you. On top of that, I need you to, this is your homework, I need you to research the top 5 cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Ethereum, okay? Because this will be our core. XRP, Solana, and Cardano. That's our top 5, okay? That's what we're looking at. We want to research them. And if you're asking like, well, what am I looking for? I want you to look at, okay, cost. Where is it at right now? Where has it been? Okay, because you're going to go into deciding, should I buy right now or should I wait? Right? I want you to look into what problem is this particular cryptocurrency solving, because you need to know why you're investing in it. I got it, the price. Okay, so if you're saying I want to buy XRP and Cardano because XRP is less than $5 and Cardano is less than $1, so I can get more for my $25 a month. That is true. You can get more for your $25, but do you even know why it's at the price it's at right now? Do you know who is behind it? Do you know what they're doing? These are the things that you need to look into, okay? And then once you do the research, pick one of them to start. Whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, or one of the other altcoins I mentioned, doesn't matter. Pick one to start investing. And then you're going to add another when more money is freed up from your debt decreasing. Or you can do a split. But that just depends on how much money you're putting into the market each month, okay? Here's the thing I'm going to ask you to do, and this is something I had to work on since getting started into investing in the cryptocurrency market towards the end of 2020, right? You got to stick to your plan regardless of the market noise, regardless of who's saying what on these X Spaces, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitch, if they're talking about whatever platform, regardless of what a person is saying, you know why you're investing in that particular project. Stick with it. This strategy with the recurring buy, right? This strategy is called dollar cost averaging. So you're going to hear this a lot in the cryptocurrency market. What the definition of this, hold on. Okay. So the definition of this is where pretty much dollar cost averaging is where you invest a fixed amount of money at regular intervals. Whether you're going to do that every single week, whether you're going to do that every other week, so twice a month, or every month, whatever it is, regardless of the asset's price, to spread out your purchase costs over time. What this does is reduce the risk of buying at a market peak and averages out your overall purchase price. It's making it a disciplined way to invest consistently and avoid trying to time the market. So for my people who are new to the cryptocurrency market today, this is the perfect strategy for you. You already know that Bitcoin has hit a high. I'm just using Bitcoin as an example because most people have heard of Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin has already hit a high this year, over $123,000. When I looked at it earlier, it was at 111,000 some change, right? Okay. So what that tells us is right now, the price is lower than what it was earlier this year, correct? Okay. So if we know that, now we're going to add, all right, where is the fear and greed index? Are we in fear or are we in greed? When I look today, we're neutral, but it's low, it's closer to fear. So as a beginner, if you're saying, hey, I'm just going to dollar cost average, I know that Bitcoin's price is going to continue to go down. And you say you want to just start buying some, then by all means, buy it. But here's what I need you guys to keep in mind. Don't worry about where the price is if you're going to dollar cost average. Don't worry about where it is because, like I said, the definition is going to average out. Okay? But me personally, because I've been investing for, the past 5 years, I'm personally not going to buy again until Bitcoin has gotten close to the previous all-time high, which is $68,000. Because then I'm like, okay, if it gets close to that, we might see it go down a little bit more, 50, 40,000, maybe. But I don't know if it's going to go that far. But if it gets to the previous all-time high, 68,000, all right, cool. This is my cue. I'm paying attention. But I know how to read charts too, so I'm not going to, confuse anybody. So you need to do what you're comfortable with, what you're ready for, what your heart can take. Because some people are like, I can't take watching it go down. So I'm going to wait, like you said, until it goes down to at least $68,000. Okay. If that's what you want to do, but that needs to be a decision that you're making for yourself because you know you. Got it? Good. All right. So step 3, y'all. Step 3. We talked about 2. Now we're on step 3. We want to diversify smartly. So remember when I said we want to decide which cryptocurrency we're going to invest in? I told you to research the top 5. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, and Solana, right? So the reason why I said Bitcoin and Ethereum, because this is typically the core investment for the big money people, okay? These large corporations, governments, all of that, government officials, all of these people are investing in, at a bare minimum, Bitcoin and Ethereum if they're investing in the cryptocurrency market. Those are their main 2, okay? There's lower risk involved with it. Got it. The cryptocurrency market is very risky. It's a higher risk than the stock market. It's volatile. But guess what? That volatility is going to calm down the more the governments and these large corporations are getting involved in this market. Okay? Because there's a lot of high adoption too. This is why we want to make sure that at least Bitcoin and Ethereum are a part of our portfolio. But here's the thing. Before you do that, you still need to research those 2 cryptocurrencies. Don't just do it because I said, it's lower risk and it's higher adoption of these 2. No, you need to go do the research, okay? I cannot stress this enough. All right. Then we're going to look into investing a smaller percentage every month, every week, every other week, whatever it is, in those promising altcoins, the ones that you've done the research and they are solving problems, and their developers are constantly working to make it better, so that way it's faster, so that way it's not taking as much energy, so on and so forth, right? So looking into XRP, Cardano, Solana, again, you're researching these things. Okay? You're researching these things. So if you guys need something like a checklist to ensure that you're on the right track, especially as a beginner investing, what you can do is put in the comments starter kit, because I have a crypto starter kit. Y'all, you can get it for free. Okay. It's not like I'm charging anybody, because again, there's so much free information out here about cryptocurrency. A lot of us just didn't know where to go get it. So that's why some of us paid people to teach us things, because we didn't know where to go get it. Okay. We didn't know who to trust. We're filling people out to make sure that what they're saying works and all of that stuff. So if you want the crypto starter kit to help you to check off, like, okay, I did this, I did that. All right. Because there's assignments in there that you need to do, so that way you know certain things before you even start investing in the cryptocurrency market. I need you to comment in the comments right now, even if you're watching the replay, comment starter kit. Okay. And then I will reply to you to get the information from you, so that way I can send it to you. Okay. Number four, we did 3. Number 4, I need you to protect yourself. Okay. We're going to use proper wallets. I'm going to break this down to you. So you probably heard people say, oh, I don't keep my crypto on those exchanges. Not your keys, not your wallet, right? Or not your keys, not your money. And come on now. Some people don't understand what that is. So I'm going to break it down to you. Your cold wallet. When you hear someone says they have it in a cold wallet, that my crypto is stored on in a cold storage or a cold wallet, whichever term, right? Think of this like your savings account for a large purchase that you're going to make. You're putting money in this high yield savings account, so that way you can have a deposit or down payment for this beautiful house that you're about to buy, or that you want to buy in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Okay? Think of a cold wallet like that. This is not on the network. It's like a thumb drive. You plug it in, you do what you need to do, boom, you get off. Okay? These wallets are less likely to be hacked. This is not saying that they will not and cannot be hacked. I did not say that. I said they are less likely to be hacked. Okay? So cold wallet, cold storage is equivalent to our high yield savings account, because we want to keep our larger amounts of cryptocurrency safe and away from the hackers. Everybody got it. Cold storage is our savings account. Cool. Big money goes there. Our hot wallets are like the apps on our phone. So you know how you have your bank app, you have I have life insurance. So I have my life insurance, my insurance company. I got an app for that. I got an app for the VA. I got an app for all of this stuff. Okay. You might be watching me on your phone. You click the app to watch me on the phone. That's what a hot wallet is. It's an app that you put on your phone, and you can keep your digital assets in there. Y'all, this is like a checking account. You're going to keep smaller amounts if you know you do a lot of transferring of cryptocurrency and you make purchases, and you know whatever it's going to be, Ethereum, XRP, whatever you're exchanging for. Okay, this is where you keep your smaller amounts. Does that make sense? So cold wallet, savings account. Hot wallet, checking account. Small amounts. Got it? We do not store our digital assets. We do not store our cryptocurrency on the crypto exchange that we purchase from, ever. Do you hear me? Please do not do that. And if you need help on how to set up, you know, your wallet, whether it's a hot wallet or a cold wallet, and you need to know how to move it from whichever exchange you're using to your wallet, ask the question, but do not leave your crypto on an exchange. Why? Because Coinbase has been hacked twice. There was another one that was hacked. It was either earlier this year or last year. Took a bunch of Ethereum. I think it was a Japanese hacker that took a bunch of Ethereum. And I'm trying to think if that was MetaMask or that was a platform. I'm trying to remember right now. Hopefully somebody knows and can type it in the chat. But yeah, so we want to make sure that we are moving our crypto, okay? Seriously, y'all, we're not keeping it on there. Hopefully everybody's still following me. I'm almost done. All right. Next thing, we want to avoid emotional decisions. Y'all, there's no need to panic sell when you know what you're investing in and why you're investing in it. You should, as a matter of fact, this is something I learned, what was that, 2020, I believe. There was a statement made, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it like that. This young lady told us you should always have a plan for your money. Think of it like this. You are the employer, and your money is the employee. So you got to tell your employee what to do so that they could be an asset to your business, to your company, and not a liability. They can go out here and multiply and bring back more customers, more clients, more potential employees. They can bring them back, but you got to direct traffic. The reason why so many of us have struggled in the past with having the money, with investing or getting started investing, is because we didn't have a plan for the money that we wanted to accumulate, that we wanted to make. We didn't have a plan for it. We were just like, man, it sure would be nice if I could, 10x what I got. Okay, but what are you going to do with it when you 10x it? What's the plan? Is it going towards a down payment on a home? Is it going towards a vacation that you've been wanting to take for the past 5 years, like a specific place that you've been wanting to go to? Is it going towards your child's college fund? What is the purpose of this investment? What is the purpose? And that's for every single one that you do. Okay, so continuing with protecting ourselves, right? I'm off my soapbox. The last thing, y'all, we're going to use those two-factor authenticators. Okay, we're going to use VPNs, especially if we have a hot wallet. Okay, because when you're traveling and you have your hot wallet on your laptop, on your phone, we need to make sure that we're protecting ourselves, right? You need to change your password, at least twice a year. Especially if you have a hot wallet. Now, if you have a cold wallet, and you're good. But if you have a hot wallet, you definitely need to change your password at least twice a year. I got it. It's too much. Okay. But so what? Change it. Okay. These security measures are what's going to help you protect your digital assets from these hackers, because they're waiting to catch somebody slipping. Truth be told. Hence why Coinbase, they were slipping and they got twice. Hence why that Japanese hacker was able to get all of that Ethereum. They're waiting for someone to slip. And especially if you're sitting here talking about you want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bitcoin, Kathy Wood is over here projecting that at some point there's going to be a $1 million Bitcoin. So you need to start practicing better security measures now. So when that time comes and you have 1 full Bitcoin and you have 10 Ethereum or 20 Ethereum and you have 30,000 XRP and all this stuff, like, come on, you need to protect your stuff. Okay? Now listen, if anything, you can stay connected to Prosperity Cause, because we could be your accountability partner. Okay, if you need an accountability partner, like making sure I'm taking care of myself and I'm securing my assets, we got you. Okay, so I'm about to wrap this up. All right. If you found this conversation helpful, hit the like button, hit the love button, whichever one. Comment some of your key takeaways. All right, comment some of your key takeaways. I'm sorry, guys. I got used to being here for Facebook, and now I'm neglecting y'all. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. But hit that like button, comment some of your key takeaways, and share, because sharing is caring. All right. Remember, y'all, the person that, you share this with, they're probably going to have a good smile on their face because they're like, oh man, my dog was thinking about me. Right? You over here thinking about their financial well-being. So they'll appreciate that. All right. Okay. So last part, y'all. Why do we want to start now? Why do we want to start investing in cryptocurrency now? I can't say this enough. Okay. You don't want to wait. You don't want to prepare or in preparation mode in the middle of a bear market. You want to be well prepared before it happens. So now you know how much money you're putting in either each week, every other week, or every month. You know what you're investing in, you know why, you know where you're purchasing it, you know where you're sending it. You have all the information you need so you can make it happen. I've been quoting Warren Buffett for at least the past 4 years now. Okay. And I told y'all this before, but I'm going to say it again because just in case someone just joined and did not hear me earlier. One of my favorite quotes from him that stood out to me to this day is buy the fear and sell the greed. Now, again, somebody probably said it before him. I don't know. The first person I heard say that was Warren Buffett. Okay. Shout out to whoever else said it. But right now, the crypto market is switching between neutral and fear. So when we are in a consistent state of fear, what? Buy. Again, it's not about the money you invest, the amount of money you invest. That's important. It's about building the habit of dollar cost averaging now to ensure you're consistent when the market shifts. All right. So at the end of the day, preparation removes fear. And with that budget and a plan that is consistently executed, you can actually look forward to a bear market and see the opportunities that await you so you can make your money. All right. So quick recap. These are a few things that we talked about. One, the freedom budget and how it allows you to see where your financial leaks are and how it ultimately minimizes and eliminates that bad debt. And then when those leaks are plugged and your debt strategy is in full effect, you've now created space to redirect your money into smart, consistent investing. All right. Remember, bear markets equals opportunities, not obstacles. This is where you build wealth. Bear markets, you build wealth. Bear markets, you build wealth. Bear markets, you build wealth. All right. So if you're ready to take this further, Prosperity Calls has a ton of tools and resources available to you. And, we got that accountability to help you keep on track. So that way you're hitting your goals. You're never going to be reactive, y'all. You're going to be prepared. I need you to keep this in mind when you begin to implement what you've learned tonight. Okay. And also over the past 3 going on 4 weeks. Okay. So again, to receive that crypto starter kit for free, I need you to comment starter kit now. If you're watching a replay at any point, type in starter kit in the comments and I'll get that to you. All right. Thank you all for tuning in live. And for those of you watching a replay, I really appreciate you as well. Next month, I will be resuming the crypto masterclass and the beginner bootcamp. So stay tuned for my people who are like, hey, listen, I need hands-on. I got it watching this. That's helpful. It's raised my awareness for sure, but I need help, like hands-on. That's what the crypto beginner bootcamp is designed for. Okay. Last thing, it's been a minute, since I've said this. So I want to leave you guys with my favorite quote, and that is from the legend. His name is Arthur Ashe, and he says to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Y'all have a wonderful evening and remainder of the week, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.